Well, I tell you, when you're not feeling well, it's probably not a good idea to watch an episode of Doctor Who. But I did. Well, the good news is it's the last one of the season. The bad news is they've shot another season, so, it's on the way. Boy, I tell you, when they don't really have much of a message to preach and all that, they got nothing. And that's one of the things, certainly about this season, but it's been true for a while for these bad shows. They really don't know what they're doing. And that's one of the things also to apply to this is like, well, we're reaching out to marginalized peoples whom we care so much about, but you don't do the due diligence to present a respectful story, even for that. Yeah. So you had like the Rogue episode where Rogue ends up being the hero, The Doctor hasn't been the hero in any of this. He just sort of accidentally stumbles into things at best. But yeah. Rogue had to be the hero, which is odd because, again, all this sacrifice and whatnot for someone you met, 30 minutes ago? That's the love of your life. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, you finally get to this one with the big return of Sutek and all that sort of stuff. And just knowing you're going to trash something established in Classic Who. And they do. I don't even know if they intended to, probably. But it's just so lazy of an episode. Just stuff slapped in. It's incredible just how stupid it all is. But there it is. Oh, they did have one message about cultural appropriation. So they're showing clips, from, Tom Baker's era where he battled Sutek originally, And I think it was Ruby asking, hey, what's with all the Egyptian stuff? And the Doctor, cultural appropriation. Now, granted, the Pyramid of Mars episode took place in a time where there were all these relics that had been brought over from Egypt and all that sort of stuff. And so, all right, it didn't belong there. It should have stayed in Egypt and all that kind of thing. But oddly enough, there was a lot of Egyptian stuff because the concept of it was an old sci-fi concept. Star Trek's done it, tons of things. And then you can go off into people who believe it's true, like Chariots of the Gods and all that sort of stuff. In that, aliens from way long time ago influenced the myths of gods on Earth. And so the idea being that that's what Sutek was about. He and his people had done this, and that whatever they were like was witnessed by early Egyptians, and it formed their stories and all that and their development and what have you. And so actually Egypt was culturally appropriating Sutek and his people. But anyway, back then Doctor Who was a science fiction show. Now, granted, science fiction shows, boy, they really get into magic a lot. They just don't call it that. And say, well, it's a superior technology and stuff, but they at least make an effort, Here in the Shudigatwa era, it's just magic. There's really no other explanation here. And for some reason, Sutek is not some advanced alien. He is the god of death. So as far as trashing the fourth Doctor, you can conclude that in that this was all due to the mistake of the fourth Doctor. He sent Sutek into the time vortex to a point where he would inevitably die. Now, if he is the god of death, but then he really is an immortal being, and I don't think you could kill him. But nevertheless, just hey, shut up and forget about that. But still, what the Doctor didn't count on was the TARDIS also travels in the vortex. And so Sutek hitched a ride and has been piggybacking on the TARDIS all this time. Now, wait a minute. He had a physical form. That was the whole point of that Pyramid of Mars. He was imprisoned on Mars. And when he was able to get freed, he was teleporting back to over to Earth, And there, he had a body and all that. And when he took the mask off, you could see his sort of dog head that he had. Didn't look quite like the one they had in the CGI stuff for this show. But anyway, that was the deal. And then the doctor sent him off into the vortex. And but according to this, he managed to grapple a hold of the TARDIS and, again, has been piggybacking with the Doctor all this time, setting up pawns all throughout time, ultimately till 2024 to get revenge on the Doctor and make him cry. Which, just give this doctor, give him 5 seconds, he'll be crying again. So you didn't need to do all this. But anyway, that's the thing, and it's utterly stupid. I mean, I suppose you could argue that him being thrown into the time vortex, it did something to him to where now he's this, I don't know, creature of elements rather than an actual physical being anymore. Which then again, how are you going to kill him? Spoiler, they do. But it's just all magic and all this stuff. And, why did it take so long to get his revenge? Well, I don't know. He just did. And that's it. But you could have gone into a scientific explanation, even though it's like, hey, is this borne out by any kind of theories or whatnot? Well, maybe. I don't know. But nevertheless, that he was transformed by it. But that's not what it does. Because he's already in that form when they show him the flashback of what he did and where he wrapped himself around the TARDIS, infiltrated it, ultimately took it over. All this time. Of course, there's another problem, isn't there? Yes, there is. That's not the same TARDIS. And I don't know what you're supposed to do with this. Do they already forget? I mean, the regeneration scene, which was a bi-generation scene, and then the Doctor, because of the magic vapors left over from the toy collector, I guess, the Doctor was able to create another TARDIS by picking a big hammer and hitting it and knocking one out of it. So there were 2 TARDISes, one for the old Doctor and one for the new. Yeah. So that happened, So if Sutekh had attached himself to the TARDIS, then that means, I don't know, he's sitting on Donna's sofa along with the original Doctor watching TV. Yeah, I guess. But somehow, well, forget this one. I'm gonna go to the new TARDIS. Yeah. Plus, this is the thing of the Doctor keeps saying, "I'm the last of the Time Lords." No, you're not. Because there's 2 of you. Just one's retired. Yeah, that's really stupid. Plus, it's just Last of the Time Lords. You just retread that crap from Eccleston. By the way, no, because the Gallifrey was destroyed again by the Master because they didn't know what else to do with it. And he turned them all into Cyber Lords. Once they regenerate, wouldn't they be back in their, normal humanoid forms? Hey, why am I in this cyber helmet? Yeah, I didn't think that one through either. Anyway, so there's that. And then the stupid with their time projection holodeck, where... Well, Sutekh's got control of the TARDIS, so what's the Doctor to do? Oh, I know. Let's go to the holodeck and escape in the holographic TARDIS. Yeah. Now, I know Star Trek with the holodeck did some episodes where certain things could reflect on a holographic version of elements. I'm blanking on the different stories. I think it was that one where Riker was on trial or what have you. But yeah, in that small manner of ways of how it happened when it, I think, dealt with light or what have you. But here, the idea that you could Just create a projection of of a spaceship and then climb into it and fly away. No. I'm sorry. That wouldn't happen. But they do, and then, oh, look, it's the memory room from the little extra specials of old doctors having a little chit-chat with old companions and stuff. And you say, oh, we live on in memory of the TARDIS's memory or some such. I don't know. But by that measure, a projected version of Sutek would also be... Yeah. Didn't really think that through either. Oh, we met Ruby's mom. So the whole mystery of Ruby is solved. How did she make all that snow? I don't know. Because guess what? Her mom was not some mysterious woman or anything. She was just some teenage girl, pregnant, had a baby, didn't know what to do, and decided to give her up. And that's it. Yeah. And so she meets her, and they, reunite, and she gets to meet Ruby's, new mommy and all that sort of stuff. And the doctor decides, hey, here's a good time to leave. Which, unfortunately, is the best part of the show. The only bright spot was that beautiful woman, Ruby. Yeah. My God, what a beautiful woman. But apparently she's going to come back at some point. But anyway. But probably not as much, Oh, man. You took away the only good thing. Plus, boy, they did this teary-eyed thing. Now, granted, he spent more time with Ruby than he did with Rogue, and he got all upset. So I guess it stands to reason that he got upset leaving Ruby behind, even though he didn't really have to, but he just did. And he's all upset. Of course, he starts crying again and all that. But, yeah. They've known each other for, a couple of days, so... So maybe they had some adventures in between episodes. I don't know. Anyway, so of course, oh my God, I'm gonna miss you. I love you, and all that stuff. It's too bad. What are you gonna do? Yeah. So, it's just a really stupid show. Even when it's not, calling you a racist or something like that. It's just there's nothing there. Just nothing. Didn't even try. Weird. It's like you would think you'd just sort of accidentally stumble into something, Nope. Oh well. So there you go. There's Doctor Who. Well, of course, it's Doctor 2. I mean, the real Doctor again, sitting on Donna's sofa, watching TV.